Let's go over the full moon that is happening in Leo on February 12th, 2025. So we'll dive right into using the chart here so that you can see what we're working with when we look at an actual astrological chart. It typically shows up as a circle traditionally, and sometimes still in the Vedic or Jyotish traditions, you might find a rectangle, but the concepts are the same. So what we're looking at here is our eastern horizon, the sunrise point, if you will, is over here at 6 degrees Aries. So we can see at the time that this full moon perfects, we have Venus rising nearly to the degree on the eastern horizon. So if at around 8:53 a.m., we won't be able to see the fullness of the moon at this point. We'll have to wait until later in the day. But you could, if the sun weren't blaring out the sky and already making it blue, you would be able to see Venus on the horizon. So if you wanted to, at this time, you could look to the horizon, wave to Venus, even though you can't really see her, and you will have actually done that, which is pretty cool. But moving forward, what we've got here, of course, is this full moon. So the sun is risen by a couple hours, as we can tell. It's in Aquarius, the sign of the sun's detriment, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It just means that it is opposite the sign of the sun's domicile. The sun's domicile is Leo, where our full moon happens to be. So now you can see how to spot a full moon in a chart. When the sun and the moon are exactly opposite each other, we have a full moon going on. Conversely, when they are next to each other, we have a new moon going on. So then we look at the condition of this moon. So we're going to come over here, and just for fun, I'm going to click on the moon. And it's pretty much the same because they are opposite each other. So what we have impacting this moon is that the moon is next going to apply, after separating from the sun, to Mercury right here, very close by. And then we also want to notice that it is separating, thank goodness, because Uranus is at 23 and the moon is at 24. So in the past, the moon has interacted with Uranus and is now moving on to interact with the sun and Mercury. That's how the whole applying and separating of aspects things works. So the last conversation the moon had was a square with Uranus, where surprising things may have come up and new ideas may have inspired us and made us feel either really good about ourselves or like we need to take action towards something that's exciting, or possibly like there's something we don't like that we want to take action towards fixing that and actually changing that reality for ourselves. And that leads us into this culmination moment of full awareness, full of light, fullness of this full moon in Leo, of who we are, what we're passionate about, what drives us, what lights us up, and the spaces that we want to be in because we shine naturally there, not because we have to take other people's light or dim our own lights or who knows, all of those things. They don't matter in this moment. It is about who you are. It is about being that energy of myself, my actualization, my expression. And then we move into, well, what does that look like in our lives? So we're going to add some practicality to this, thanks to Mercury being over there. Mercury is actually dignified by triplicity right now, so is stronger than Mercury's been for a while now that Mercury is in Aquarius. We love that. And for those of you who can't see, Zelda is next to me on my chair over here because we have some thunder, and that's not her favorite thing. So on my shirt, I have Jack. On my chair, I have the actual Zelda, and she is wonderful. At the end, because I don't want to disturb her, maybe I'll lift her up and you'll get to see Zelda Bear. She's not a bear, she's a corgi. So what we're looking at here, of course, is a little bit more of a cerebral experience. Who am I? What is important to me? What makes me feel like I express myself well? All of these are questions we might come up with on the full moon. And because it is a full moon, these are things we may continue to pursue answers to. As the moon begins to wane, we will get rid of things that limit who we are, and we will start implementing and making space for things that help us actualize ourselves and become the person that we truly, really want to be and should be. So this is a time of radical optimism, self-expression, even if there is adversity where Uranus brings in something unpredictable, or if we feel like we don't quite fit in. The sun is in Aquarius, Mercury is in Aquarius. Not fitting in is kind of the theme. And of course, we know this calls back to a lot of Aquarian echoes that are going throughout the next 200 years, and even specifically our 20 years that we are in right now. It's a very important time for breaking molds. It's a very important time for changing paradigms. And that means personally just as much as in society. And honestly, the personal comes as a side effect of society changing. We are changing society to fit who we want to be as individuals, to fit so that everybody can have a place. And that is something that we are really exploring on the inside with this full moon. So, keeping that in mind, our affirmation is I am everything I need to be for whatever comes to me. I am everything I need to be for whatever comes to me. And I know that you are, and I know that you have everything. Your life experience has led you to this moment, and it has prepared you for this moment. So, the way to apply this week is remembering what your strengths are, remembering what it is you love to do, remembering what you were doing when you felt most like yourself, and then building that into your routine more, building that into your life, and making that a reality for you that is non negotiable. Being who you are is non negotiable. It's why you're here on this planet. And it's important to the planet and to everybody around you that you are who you are meant to be, who you want to be, because we need the full expression of all humanity in every form and in every little way that that can show up. And you are one of them, and you're the only one doing it right now. So show us what that looks like, because we can't wait to see it. And I hope that this week, this full moon treats you really well. I hope you feel excited. I hope you feel seen, and I hope you feel accepted and understood.